Hi, this is Clara with Clarity Unlimited. We're talking about career change. And today I'm going to talk about interviewing. So I have a question for you. Are you performing or are you connecting? Are you performing or are you connecting? Often when we are going into an interview, we start to perform. We start to try and become who we think the interviewer or the organization wants to hire. And we do this for very obvious reasons, because we want to be liked, we want to be chosen, and yeah, we want to be liked and we want to be chosen. It's really enough. And maybe we're really struggling with the job that we're in, so there's some urgency there as well. I just want to get the heck away from where it is that I am. But the danger with that, the danger with performance interviews, well, there's a few dangers with performance interviews. Firstly, if you've got urgency to get out of where you are, you might be blinded and you don't want to find yourself back in another version of where you are, another organization, a different organization, but with the exact same patterns. You don't want to find yourself there. So urgency really needs to be tempered and paid attention to. And honestly, there's usually some feeling and healing that has to go on there. The second thing is, if you show up in an interview and you're performing as somebody, let's say they do hire you. You get in there, first day at work, you can keep that persona going. Second day, probably, yes, maybe a couple of weeks in, you can keep it going, but eventually you're not going to be able to sustain that. And the problem is who they are hired who they thought you were. So those were the personalities that matched. But when you become you, these people aren't going to change. And now you're in an environment where actually you didn't really fit and didn't really belong in the first place. So connection is really important. Connection is going into an interview and sitting and listening. You know, you want to be prepared. You want to have your, unless you find it very easy, you want to know all of that. But you take that in like you would take in preparation to any situation, to an exam that you're going into. Maybe you're going on holiday somewhere. You want to prepare for this. You prepare for it, and then you walk in and you ground and you connect with the person in front of you. And we have to try and remember that we're all humans and everybody's trying to find a match. And all you're doing is you're having a conversation. You're going into a conversation. See if you can connect. If you can't connect, it might not be the best place for you. That opens up a whole other conversation. But I'm going to pause there for today. So what would it be like if you put down performing, if you are a performer, if you put down performing and tried connecting? What would that be like for you? And what difference do you think that could make in your interviewing results, but also in your interviewing experience? It's kind of another way of saying show up as you and see if you have a click with the people that you're talking to, because that's the beginning of a great opportunity.